A very special thank you to CJ, Nix, Marigi, L, Howland Requiem, Holly Miller, Karen Duca, Kaori Ann Mori, Kapachi, Sarah Bear, and Maxine Lankau for supporting the channel and supporting my content. Thank you so much, guys. 2 years ago now, I made a video titled What Christmas Means to Me. And in this video, I kind of talked about, well, what Christmas means to me. I talked about my experience growing up with Christmas and how that developed. I talked about what it's like to spend Christmas with a member of the family in a different country. I talked about how I grew and the meaning of Christmas changed. And 2 years on, after we've spent a Christmas in lockdown, after so much has changed in the world and with me as a person, I want to talk about how Christmas has changed and how Christmas has changed for me in the last 2 years. Those of you that watch my channel may have seen a video or two I've made talking about my mental health. And while this won't be my first Christmas spent with mental health issues, it will be my first Christmas I've spent while struggling with derealization. The first Christmas I've spent where my brain's reaction to the goings on in the world is to acknowledge them but to detach from them. And this has in a way changed things for me. It's no shock to anyone that the world is pretty messed up right now, with warehouses holding workers hostage during tornadoes, a certain cereal brand firing over 1,000 employees who dared to unionize, and with a global pandemic with yet another strain throwing chaos into the mix. I mean seriously guys, the more we put off vaccinating, masking and taking precautions, the longer this is gonna last. With all of that, I think it's easy for Christmas to become a bit buried. The joy of Christmas can start to get a bit lost, along with some old issues of what are we really celebrating here, the holiday or buying each other stuff. The meaning starts to get a bit clouded. But for me, with everything going on, Christmas is kind of like switching a light on in a dark room. This will be the first Christmas I spend while in a relationship. The first time I have personally brought a new person into my life to celebrate it with, and I am excited, to say the least. For the first time in my life, everything I have said in my video about Christmas, I get to give that to someone else. Every experience I lived in my Christmas life that I mentioned in my first video, I get to give those experiences to another person. I get to bring another person into that. Sometimes when I sit in front of this camera and I talk, I just say words. I talk and I shout, and half the time it doesn't really mean anything. Like, sure, I'm saying something I mean, or I'm talking about something I care about, but they're just words that I'm throwing out to fill time in a video. These videos have always been different. I'm not saying things to hit a quota. If this video isn't long enough for mid-rolls, who cares? That's not the purpose of the video. These words I care about, and this Christmas, I really care about the time I'm going to have with people, old and new, that I care about. On Christmas Day, or the days leading up to it, any time I can spend with the person I want to is time well spent. Because to me, Christmas isn't a day. It's not a religious celebration where we celebrate the birth of Christ, or the winter solstice, or Yuletide, or any of that. To me, Christmas is an escape from the reality of the world. It's a time where all that matters is you and the people that you care about. Christmas is a time to escape work, to not be bogged down by stress, anxiety, to not worry about what's going to happen in a month from now or a year from now. Christmas is about looking after yourself and being with the people that you want to look after. What Christmas means to me is that I know if I walk out that door behind me and I go downstairs, there are people there who I care about and who care about me. Christmas to me is knowing that very soon I'm going to spend a few days stress-free celebrating Christmas with someone new. Christmas to me is spending time with the people not because you have to, but because you want to. Because we all have limited time on this earth, so every second with the people you care about is precious. That's what Christmas means to me. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out, and Merry Christmas.